maximum impact. With his eyes flicking open, Max's vision settles on the huge window pane of his penthouse flat, which is mostly automated and operates on a predetermined schedule which gently eases him into his busy working day. The first signs of activity are when the blinds slowly rise along the windows, letting in the first breath of the morning. Next up, a hot shower begins to run, and a designer brand polo shirt is magically dispensed for him, ironed to perfection. Then his expensive espresso coffee machine brews him up a shot of liquid energy. Max literally lives the high life, and he's well aware of this, as he's come to expect nothing less for himself at this stage. Once dressed and gussied up enough for his high performance, high income job, he typically prepares himself a light breakfast involving toasting a slice of bread and then smearing it with a neat layer of cinnamon butter prepared for him daily by his personal chef. Dusting the crumbs from his fingertips, he dilutes his espresso shot with a gentle pour of milk. Finally, he smiles in pure admiration of what he has crafted for himself. Max is on top of the world, and anyone who knows him would agree. His domestic staff will tweak and polish his luxury apartment while he is away for the day at the office, where his subordinates eagerly await for him to come in and instruct them on their next important tasks. Hell, even the doorman in his apartment lobby knows Max is untouchable. Revving up his freshly waxed BMW, Max speeds off, zooming through the traffic, without a thought about any laws and risks to other drivers. He flips out a cigarette from the centre console of his Beamer, skillfully lights it up, while being careful not to let any ash tumble into his lap or the pristine interior of the car. This was almost a game to him. With one hand steering his erratic driving, Max takes a long drag from his cigarette. He holds the cloud of smoke in his mouth and lungs just a little longer in order to heighten his momentary nicotine buzz. Showing more care to the tightly wrapped tobacco than anything else, he whips into the parking lot, nearly bowling over a bunch of his own staff members. Not that he even notices or cares. Instead, he reassures himself that every single one of them could be replaced by the end of this workday. To him, most people were merely dispensable placeholders. His confident stride carries him through the office building while he scans the area for women. His eyes land on a few in passing. Some of his colleagues disapprove of how he fraternizes with ladies, but only covertly. Max knows it is only because they were secretly jealous of his raw magnetism. He makes it all look so easy, reeling the girls in like bees to honey. All he has to do is cast them a long stare with his dark, mysterious eyes. Maybe even throw them a charismatic smirk. They'll flock to him soon enough. He loves their beauty and attention almost as much as he loves himself. He knew more attention would be coming once the elevator landed on the floor of his office. He takes the fast lift to floor 51 and steps out to be immediately greeted by the sight of a young woman's eyes absorbing every detail of his allure. He gives her a wink and notices her blushing in response. Max silently applauds himself and thrusts forward in the direction of his fancy office. The best one in the building, of course, with its high ceilings, panoramic windows, and a view that most would die for. As he sweeps by the rows of cubicles, many of the women pause from their work to briefly take a moment to admire him. Their eyes, locked on him, fill him with extra vigour as he propels his way forward. Max carefully chooses who he wants to be their friendliest with. It is evident that the most prosperous and glamorous women already received his undivided attention. However, he'd throw the less glamorous ones a flirtatious look every so often, if only to keep them intrigued enough to stroke his ego. But it was always the classier women he mainly channeled his efforts towards. Not only did they love his attention, but the thicker Max laid on his charm, the more inclined these women were to show support for his ambitious company projects. In some ways, these very women held the keys to his future. And it wasn't just these chic women surrounding him at the office. His internal memory kept a running list of the most connected people in the world. Max knew which faces to look for when attending significant promotional events and how to spot who the big money stakeholders were. However, it wasn't easy being as influential as Max, while flattering beautiful women all day long. There was another side to this coin of flirtatious success. Max had a steady girlfriend and knew that the paparazzi, never very far away, were eager to catch his moves on camera. Rumours were always swirling, and Max was well aware that any publicity was good publicity, and so, as a strategy, he and his girlfriend purposely awaited the breakup rumours so they could both appear dramatically in public again, together with maximum impact. This cultivated ebb and flow of their overt relationship ensured they both would remain relevant all year long. Without this intrigue and speculation, they could easily slip into the old news category of popular culture. At lunchtime, Max quickly admires himself in the mirror, then pops a stick of spearmint gum between his teeth to drown out the scent of any lingering tobacco. He then heads in the direction of the cafe to meet up with his glamorous girlfriend. She has suggested this place as it was well known for its influential patrons and the furtive hanging around of the paparazzi. Max anticipates how his striking-looking girlfriend would be dressed for their casual rendezvous. Her, being a famous runway model, could wear just about anything, and it would still look good on her. As Max arrives at the cafe, he spits his gum out onto the street, far enough away from his BMW so his shoes don't become a victim to it when he returns from the establishment. Walking into the posh cafe, he spots his stunning girlfriend sipping from a fruit glass filled with champagne and orange juice. He casually lowers himself into the seat opposite her, tingling at how she intently locks her eyes onto him. And then there is a sound they both love the most, the whirring of motor drives and the clicking of camera shutters. By tomorrow, their date will be plastered on the front of all the high society glamour magazines and gossip forums, confirming their flame is still ablaze. As they both gently nibble on a rather light lunch, their insatiable appetite has only been temporarily assuaged. That is to say, their appetite for attention.